In this video, we will talk about Seller Fest Israel event, which is happening July 7th, 2019 in Tel Aviv, the capital of Israel. And this event is organized by Klik and by Quantify Ninja. And today in this video, I have Yinon from Quantify Ninja. Hello, Yinon.
Hello and good evening.
So Yinon is from Israel, and about a few months ago, when I was organizing European Seller Conference in Prague, I was seeing ticket sales coming from Israeli people, and I was getting a couple of tickets sold from Israel within a few days, and I was thinking, why do people come to Europe, to Prague, to Czech Republic, to the conference, Amazon conference from Israel? Don't they have their own events? And then I asked, Yinon, don't you have any events? What did you say, Yinon, at that time?
Well, we do have events, but usually it's small events with speakers, local speakers. But we never had like a big event with international speakers. And I really don't know what is the reason for that, because we have a very large community of sellers here in Israel. And yet there was no a big event like the one we are organizing now.
So the population of Israel is about 8 million, right?
Yeah, give or less.
And when someone is looking for information about Amazon, especially on Facebook groups, there are often people, I think, with names which are probably from Israel or from your region. And I think there is a big community. Do you have an estimate how many sellers can be? Or maybe you heard sometime some stats?
I heard that there's at least 20,000, but I can't guarantee for this number, but we have a lot. Compared to the population, we have quite a lot sellers. And you can see that on Facebook groups, on the events, this is a small country, and yet on every big event outside of Israel, you can meet a lot of Israelis goes to the event.
And during Seller Fest Israel, we will focus mostly or only on US marketplace of Amazon. And you told me, right, that according to you, most of Israelis sell in North America, right?
This is correct, and it has some reasons for that. I think most of the sellers here sell on Amazon US because opening an account in Amazon UK, it's much more complicated, and you have to be prepared with at least US entity or a European entity, and with an Israeli company, it's really hard to open an EU seller account. I was trying that myself a few years ago, and it was like horrible. I was putting so much effort, and yet every time got a negative response from Amazon. So yes, and basically in the US there's much more traffic. I think it's better to start in the US, and then what you see in Israel, that the people who sell in Europe always starts on US. So if you sell in Europe, you probably have also an account in the US. But I don't know many people who actually sells only in the EU. But it's important to say that in this event, even though it is aimed for Amazon US sellers, most of the topics are identical. I mean, PPC is PPC, right? If you talk about tax in Israel, for example, it's basically the same. And of course, some tricks by Tomer Rabinovich or Kevin King that will be there. Also, most of the things you can use it both, but yes, it is aimed mostly for sellers that sells on Amazon US.
Yeah, right. You will be talking about Facebook traffic, which can be applied in any marketplace. CJ Rosenbaum about legal matters with Amazon accounts worldwide. Of course, we'll have Paul Rafelson, who is the US sales tax specialist. So he will be focusing on US topic. And we will have Karen Waxman, which is specialist in bringing your products to retail shops in the US. But could you make a short overview of Israeli speakers, which is Lior Vorsel and Tomer Rabinovich? Can you explain what they usually specialize in?
Yeah, well, Tomer Rabinovich, he is one of the smartest guys I ever met. I heard him actually in some events outside of Israel. He's a well-known international speaker, and he's doing mostly, as far as I heard him and know him, he's doing always A/B testing, always A/B testing. He's testing so many things, and he's so creative. He gets to some ideas that I would never think about. And then he posts everything. I mean, he share everything on the event, and you hear him speaks, and his tips are amazing. So his topic is basically general, and he's just teaching you the tips and actually save your time. Instead of you doing those A/B testing, he tells you what works and what doesn't. And that's how, it saves you time, it saves you money, and you just take his wisdom and run with your business. About Leo Warsel, he's an accountant in Israel, and I was actually read a lot of posts that he posts on Facebook about accounting in Israel, and I think he's the only one that is actually speaks about something that is specifically for Israeli audience, but it's super important, because in Israel there's like culture that people sometimes says, it will be okay. I don't need to pay tax. I don't need to worry too much because I don't sell too much. I don't do enough profit, so I don't need to pay taxes. I don't need to report anything. It's a problematic culture. I know not everyone are like that, but there's too many, unfortunately. And Leo Borsel is posting a lot of posts on Facebook, and he's telling people, do everything correctly, be straight, don't try to bend the rules. And he's actually probably will tell us what can be the results of your actions. I mean, if you don't do that, what can happen? And it's important to know how risky you're willing to take on your business when you do something or when you don't do something, especially for an e-commerce business, which is not well regulated all over the world, right? So most of the things are like a gray area, because it's new, right? It's just for the past 10 years, I think. And before that, there was no e-commerce business.
Yeah, and during the Seller Fest Israel conference, we will have, I think, 10 sessions, and 3 of them will be in Hebrew language and the rest will be in English. But it's not a problem for anyone to attend, because we'll have translators. We will organize the possibility for you to listen to the, how it's called, the real-time translation. And doesn't matter if you are from Israel and don't understand very well English, you will be able to hear the translation. And also during the Hebrew sessions, our guests from outside Israel will be able to also understand. And in order to listen to this, we will ask you to download some application. So bring your phone, headphones, and power bank, because nowadays smartphones are not so smart, don't have smart batteries, they don't last long. And let's talk about the main guest in this event, which is Kevin King. And now you, Yinon, you were very excited that Kevin King offered to come to Israel. Can you tell if people know Kevin King at all in your community?
Yeah, well, Kevin King is a well-known international speaker. I think one of the best, or even I can say the best, probably. He's just like the king of Amazon, right? So he's when you hear him, he's like has wonderful tips. He goes all over the world, hear what everyone says. So he knows everything probably, right? So that's what he does. And yeah, I was super excited to have him here. And you will all hear him on the event. He will have 1 hour lecture, and you will see how wonderful he is. And if we have some spots for the workshop the second day, then you can also purchase a ticket for that workshop. But I don't know yet, because the workshop that we are running now are filled up really, really quick for Kevin, which surprised me and you, right?
Yeah, I was surprised. So yeah, basically July 7th is the main conference with 10 sessions, international speakers. And July 8th will be a full day, in total maybe about 6 hours event together with the food, where Kevin King will be sharing his tips. And I heard he's doing this kind of workshop time to time, every few months in different countries. And I think we personally asked him if it will be something new in this workshop, and he did confirm that there will be some new information. So the tickets, I think it's one of the lowest comparing to other events. I was like recently in London in Seller Sessions Live, and their event was almost 2 times more expensive for one day with 6 speakers. Of course, the speakers maybe have like higher caliber. They are all more or less known. In our case, we still have quite known speakers: Kevin King, CJ Rosenbaum, Tomer Roberovich. So, but I think it's a very big value for Amazon sellers, and those, maybe even those who want to learn to sell on Amazon and know the basics, they can get a lot of value in this event, especially by networking with other sellers from their own country. Yes. So yeah, if you want to check what's on offer for this conference, so go to sellerfest.com/Israel. You will see the offering for the tickets, and also you still have possibility to purchase a VIP dinner with speakers, which will be happening at the end of the conference in the evening.
Yeah, the VIP dinner, even though it sounds a little bit weird to buy a ticket to, I think for me, it was one of the best things I could ever do, because mingling with all those speakers and sponsors, you get to have a lot of like mingling, and then you can cooperate in some ways, or learn new things, or just connect to someone. Having both, for example, have the same issues or try to solve your problems. Sometimes just one sentence can do the difference. And this is true not just for the VIP dinner. This is true for everything, for the event, for the workshop, or for the VIP dinner. Sometimes just one sentence from someone can make the difference.
Thanks a lot, Yinon, for doing this all together, and see you in Israel, July 7th in Tel Aviv, 2019.
Yeah. See you. Bye-bye.